In Loomian Legacy, there's been quite a few pedophiles, some making appearances since the game launched, but which one of them is really the best? The best meaning inefficiency, someone who got away and escaped, or just someone who was great at grooming, I guess. This video will rank all the Loomian pedophiles that have been in the community so far. Starting off hot, we have Armenty. Most people believe that Armenty is a nice and fun guy who is friendly and has definitely no dark side. That is not true in the slightest. Armenty only has one known victim, but considering his Jewish nature, you could make a fair guess that Lexi wasn't the only victim. I do give credit to Armenty for getting away with it and facing no punishment, and leaving Lexi looking like a delusional child. Armenty gets A on the tier list, even though he did not have many victims. He managed to avoid punishment, but I guess you can still say it made him quit his YouTube career. The Village of Sunshine and Rainbows, Value Village. The Value Village ownership has some sort of curse to it. It makes every owner turn into a horrible person. Prior to birth, the owner was Ahmad, an amazing guy who loved to play kickoff in Loomian Legacy. Most people regard him as the most reliable guy they've ever seen, until they didn't anymore. His victims are both Loomian and Kickoff, even in the Kickoff community he was getting called a pedophile, so he wasn't that good at hiding it. But what makes him stand out from the rest is that he tricked his victims into not hating him. He's also great at spotting vulnerable girls with the sharpest eyes of any pedo I've ever seen. For this, I will give him S tier, but not just that. Ahmad also had real-life victims, some of which were boys. Bonus points for diversity and keeping it equal, I suppose. Furries don't really stand out in Loomian Legacy because there are so many, but this daring fox always was in the spotlight. During his prime, Anicate made a lot of weird statements in Discord servers, which made him gather a lot of attention. He lost spreading to the public that he was a pedophile with a piss king. Although Anicate is a weirdo, his straightforwardness deserves praise. Never once did Anicate try to beat allegations, because he was proud of what he is, and that says a lot. He was truly someone with a formed character. Naturally, with no victims mentioned, he isn't getting that high on this list, but he wasn't that bad, so I'll give him a C tier. Envision this. You are 24 years old, right? And your name is Michaels. That is pretty bad already. But wait till it gets worse. This Michael guy pays online girls who are 18 and below to have passionate conversations with him. The payments can consist of GR and USD. I even was one of those girls that had a conversation with him. Let's just say he's not good at talking to women, and leave it at that. Michael still continues to do this, but he can never get far because when the topic switches from LL, he has no clue what to talk about. He could have so much more potential if he wasn't such an antisocial guy. F tier, do better, Michael. Breaking news. The guy who looks the most like a pedophile is actually a pedophile? Who could have thought the social butterfly SDP could be such a horrendous person? Ever since he started smoking with thugs, he has been getting interested in smoking with middle school kids. Now that his mother kicked him out at the age of 22, he has the opportunity to do just that. SB hangs out around a lot of minors who looked up to him because he's old, but he's slowly growing them to be his future friends because he has no real friends. Even the wannabe thugs left his fat ass. Overall, just a pathetic dude with not many pedo feats. B tier for effort, I suppose. The devil in human form. Turns out he's a pretty manipulative pedophile. Gioy, age 20, has only one known victim, but she has basically gotten her whole life ruined because of this rascal. Gioy seeks the destruction of brown girls, so he was very happy to see his victim become the offender. He even hosted an online party in a Roblox island game with all of his nice non-pedo friends. The worst part of the story is that he got away with it. This automatically gives him a lot of points. Gioy gets S tier pedophile. The most recent star in the show, Eggy. Dude was loved by the community, but he turned out to be a crazy pedophile, usually targeting girls who either just turned 18 or close to turning 18, like 17 and 16. This may sound really basic, but not only did he spread out his wings in different communities, he also had about 20 victims total. This is some embarrassing work because in 20 different people, not even one reciprocated his feelings and left him all alone like the weirdo he is. People say he needs help, but what Eggy needs is to be castrated and thrown out to live in the wilderness. Not only because he's a groomer and pedophile, but also because he has absolutely zero game. If he managed to pull any of his victims, I could have moved him up to like a different rank if he was successful at least once. But online dating was not made for Eggy in the slightest. But this was somewhat expected because Eggy is a Jew, A-tier pedophile. The trading prodigy who lost his entire fortune to a Chinese spy. Rohit loved to trade, including trading nudes. Some might say that nobody wants to see Indian curry steaks, but with some negotiating, anything can be done. Trading nudes might sound normal in some cases, but all of the girls Rohit traded with were below the age of 18, while Rohit was 20 and above. Although it's impressive for him to trade his pics for real nudes of minors, he only did this because he loves trading. He later black marketed the nudes he received for a hefty price in the Dubai subreddit. B-tier pedophile would give higher if he wasn't such a Jew about his work. Some may call him a trading legend, some may call him a retard. Fasin HD Gamer is an incredible person, a man of many talents. His trading career was the owner of 300 plus Gioy, something not everyone can do. Not just that, but he also gained influence from his trading videos, became a YouTuber with 100 plus subscribers. These extraordinary feats were his life's greatest work. Sadly, it all went downhill when one day he got trapped inside the washroom. His life turned around for the worst, and he started sexting with minors. The washroom had made him go insane. The old Fasin wouldn't recognize the new Fasin, one of the few accidental pedophiles of the century. Though a nice pair of minors would cheer him up and make him revert back to normal, he claims. D-tier pedophile. Who knows how many more pedophiles there is in this community? They hide in plain sight. Everyone you see could be a pedophile, but you have no way to prove it. This is why we must remain vigilant and doubt everyone we see, because with doubt there is salvation.